I am live indeed, it would appear. Thank you for waiting. 2 viewers, 3 viewers. Oh, 2 thumbs up already. Oh, what can I say? Welcome, welcome one and all. Morning hangover. Well, it's not actually morning, it's after lunch. But it feels like morning. Morning hangover with Saroth. Feel my pain. Is this man got a drink problem, you ask yourselves? All this hangovers and all this public drunkenness? Nope, don't think so. It's just how we roll in Aberdeen. So I had a very interesting night last night. It was a wonderful, wonderful day, in fact, and it was scorching. And again, it is scorching. It's like 25 degrees. I was fried yesterday in the heat because we were out in cafes and stuff. So today I thought, just before I start, I must do a disclaimer. Saroth the Mage, as you know, is a fictional character, and magic mushrooms, or the sacrament, as I like to call them, the greater sacrament as opposed to the lesser sacrament, are illegal, ridiculously. Who said that they could make them illegal? They grow out of the ground, you know. You find them walking around football pitches and stuff, and you're telling me that's illegal and it's class A? Okay, I've never taken them, I never would. But I've read about them. Oh yes, I've read a great deal about them. We did a great deal of reading on them over the summer solstice, and we plan on reading quite a lot about them for Samhain. Of course, 6 times a year, the equinoxes, the other ones, solstices, and 2 other times we read. 6 times a year only, unless of desperate emergencies. So what's it all about? Why are they so connected with shamanism and magic and tribal cultures, you know, pyramid cults? See, I've just done a ritual, of course, Theoricus, but I have to say my head was so poundy that I couldn't really focus very well, but I went through the motions, and sometimes that's all you can do. You can't be inspired to great works of genius every day, and it has been quite, I feel much more relaxed. Like I said, there was a lot of weird frenetic energy built up before the full moon, blood moon, eclipse, storm, heat wave, catastrophe, but that seems to have settled down now. We're waning nicely, so I feel a lot calmer. And you know, you have got to watch. I know I'm not sticking to the subject, but you know me. You've definitely got to watch for ego inflation when you're using magic, because you can start believing all kinds of crazy stuff. There are good beliefs, healthy beliefs that may not necessarily be true, that are useful to you, but the egoic thing of thinking that as a magician you're causing everything to happen, it can get a little bit out of control. I think the ritual work and that, you know, it provokes this weird self-transformational aspect, and things really do change. I mean, my God, like I keep saying, I came out of a very dark place, and I will be going back to that place. It's the journey through the underworld. It's the classic shamanic initiation of being torn to pieces and then reassembled. And that's a very common recurring theme in shamanism, is, I presume, under the influence of plant teachers, because it's I find it very hard to get the same level of bizarre, weird visions, ideas. You know, if we are antenna for planetary energies and spirit energies and human energies, everything has energy, everything is vibrating, nothing is solid, and this becomes very, very apparent on, I've heard, on high dose psilocybin. Psilocybin, I was talking to a friend, a nice young lady that I met yesterday, Well, I met her before, but we were out together yesterday. But very well, very nice girl. I don't know if she will. I haven't actually showed her any of these yet. I don't know if she's quite ready for this, but she's very open and she's great. And her granny was in the Eastern Star. You know, is magic in the blood? Is another question I often ask myself. You know, if you've had a family member that's initiated, does that pass itself down? And by initiated, I just mean that they've done some work. They've maybe had Freemasonic or even temple initiations, or they're just practicing folk magic or whatever it is. I think somebody called it witch blood. One, my favourite podcast, second only to C.W.Chanter, is what is it again? It's Glitch Bottle, and they just have most fascinating conversations about specifically Western magic, which is good. I love all the other strains of spirituality, but that's a very good one for Golden Dawn, Thelema, Goetia, Enochian. But I don't, like I say, I'm not putting myself in a category, because then as soon as you say, right, I'm this thing, then that precludes all the other things that you might want to be. So don't limit yourself by saying I am unless you really are, unless you just want to totally dedicate yourself to one path and say I am a grimoire magician and nothing else. But I tend to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. I spread my thin talent very, very thinly indeed. So mushrooms, yeah, what is it about them? Where do you... And I'm talking not like, okay, how did I even start taking them? This fictional character, how did it, in the book that I read, how did he start taking them? Well, it was a well-known thing when I just hit the mic. Oh, is anybody going to pop into chat just to let me know if you can hear me? Just a thumbs up or everyone groovy with you guys. But I'm going to try and stay focused on a topic today, because I know it's frustrating for people who don't watch live streams to always be shouting out stuff and to go totally off subject when anybody pops up. I just about fall off my seat with excitement. It's only natural. I love you guys. Tea with a slightly shaky hand. So yeah, in Scotland they grow. It's they're like Liberty Cap shape. They've got a little nipple, different from the ones that grow in America. The McKenna and Golden Teachers, they're the ones we've had recently, and they were fantastic. You good old local mushrooms, they're great. But, I mean, you do need a dried dose of, 5 grams. That's supposed to be the heroic dose, but if you really want to break through the chloroma or wherever you go in that freezing, silent, try and describe it, I couldn't, into that place where there's nothing. There's also everything. It's the classic mystical bullshit that nobody can understand or explain. So it's pretty common knowledge among the more adventurous kids that if you pick these things, you felt kind of funny. So we used to go out, like 6 or 7 of us, pick wet mushrooms and pretty much eat them as we were going. This causes horrendous stomach pain, nausea, and it is not advised because there's dirt in them. There's the little beasties that need to be. I wouldn't say boil them, you simmer them, and that gets all the crap out, because it really is. There's a grass, and you don't want that. You want it to be as pure and condensed a liquid as possible. Mix it up with some nice stuff. We usually have it still slightly warm, so we can never wait. And we put like fruit juice and some other sort of healthy stuff in, and we prepare. This is not for recreational purposes at all. Far from. It's like an ordeal sometimes, and it was especially for me, because I had a lot of toxins and chemicals in my system, and the mushrooms just rip them all out, which is excellent, and that's why they're so useful in treatment of addiction, I think. And they just give you such a new perspective on things. I mean, sometimes it can go horribly wrong, and you can be having a very negative experience, and you can be thinking all kinds of crazy stuff. But I think if you're grounded in a tradition or many traditions, you know, sacredize the thing, deliberately set an intention. Think about, you know, you just prepare like you would for a major ritual ordeal working, because it's all three of those things and more. And it's fantastic. It's a fantastic place to meet spirits, and even, you know, depending on the dose, but I'm not saying more is always better. It's not that. But I guess different people have different levels and they want to go, and I'd reached a very comfortable place. I'll talk a little bit about truffles as well, because I found them very interesting and different. And as you can see, I'm not even using notes today. Notes. Ha! I tried to be organized, but then it works out like this, and this is okay. Everything seems to be going well. I'm slightly worried because, you know, I've got my new mic, in case I don't know who I'm talking to today, because nobody's coming in to chat. Talk to me. But I got my new microphone yesterday, so I hope the sound's good. But I got a scare yesterday because I've got a new notebook, and I thought, oh my God, finally everything's set up. And then I watched the video, like mic test. I not deleted, put it to private because it was just rubbish. I was just testing the mic, and the picture was breaking up and stuff. So I hope it's not, this little notebook isn't powerful enough, or I'm gonna have to get yet another laptop. Patreon. No, I'm only joking. I will never ask anyone ever for anything. You get it yourself, magicians. Well, sometimes if there's a crisis, yeah, but I wouldn't ask. That I would offer. There's nothing wrong, but I'm just saying I personally would never ask for anything. That's not what warrior shamans do. They do their own shit. We get our own shit sorted. Hustler magicians, baby. You know, like that idea. Where is Mr. Lux? Where are my moderators? This is a disgrace. I'll end it. I'll end it now. Somebody tell them, get in here. Only joking. So, mushrooms, what are they all about? They're plant teachers, as simple as that. They're used in all traditions. I've never actually explicitly heard of them being used, you know, Crowley or any of those guys. Never. Golden Dawn, Israel Regardi, I don't think they'd really knew. I mean, Crowley had peyote for sure. LSD, people compare it to LSD, but I don't really rate LSD that highly. You certainly can't get to the weird and exotic places that you can on psilocybin. It's just a thing unto itself. The mushrooms seem to have not only a personality, but an agenda to me. They're always like, they want to migrate to different planets. They want to travel with humanity, enlightening other cultures and other, and I've been thinking a lot about rhizomes, because mushrooms are rhizomes. Oh, I know what was making the thing go fuzzy. I moved my arms too much. The camera doesn't like it. So I'm going to try and hold it and check, but I don't want to inhibit myself, because when I'm in a flow, you got to move. So psilocybin, yeah, it's very like Terence McKenna. You know, he is the authority on shrooms. I mean, now this is a contentious point. I think it was iWalk sent me a video where Terence McKenna is like saying, oh yeah, I was recruited back in and on first listen it was like, because people are saying, oh yeah, Terence was CIA, he'd been recruited to, you know, all this Laurel Canyon idea and how the counterculture was deliberately diverted by drugs, which I've already said it was a little bit, probably because the CIA bad, and all the other bad organizations bad. Protection, they will jump in and they will, you know, they could crack cocaine to the black communities in America. I think that's pretty much beyond doubt. Silence is golden on some things. Perhaps Saroth shouldn't go there. But back to the mushrooms. They are very wonderful, transformative creatures, but they can be merciless. They will show you your faults, your weaknesses. They will tell you lies. Don't always believe everything the mushrooms tell you, because some of it, my friend talked about dragons the other day. Somebody had a huge experience and he saw these little two talking dragons, which certainly never happened to me. You do have to kind of try and get through the hallucinations. You know, they're pretty. It's just geometric shapes I see when you close your eyes. But the way we do it now is to take a large dose. We set up the temple. We fast all day. We walk along the beach or go out to the forest and just spend all day just soaking up the beautiful nature. And this summer it's just been an absolute pleasure to be alive in nature and really cleanse our inner bodies, our astral bodies, all our bodies. I mean, how many bodies have we got? According to some, we've got 5. According to some, we've got 7. I think I've just got 1 body, and my astral body is kind of here. But I think you can definitely astrally project, and I think I may have accidentally done so recently. Isn't that funny? Let's call her Soror M. Was fascinating yesterday, and she's convinced me more than ever that there is some spookiness afoot in the life of Saroth at the moment. Things are working out just a little bit too well. So I was hoping somebody might come in to chat and debate about mushrooms and add to the conversation, but I can see I'm going to have to just go solo on this one. Sorry, chat, I don't mean to bully into conversation. But I've got about, what time will I have to see? Yesterday, this was at the wrong time, this little new notebook, and it completely messed me up, and I can't be late for work. So I hate watches. Magic and watches don't go together. I've kind of discovered as well that magic seems to work forwards, backwards in time. It's totally non-linear. So you can have the results from a spell that you haven't done yet happen. I think Crowley, there was something about a letter, and there is some evidence to support that. So I've actually got, heck to tell you, I've got about an hour. But I'm not going to take an hour. I'll probably dip out after half an hour because I'm really wanting to see the quality of the stream before we go to phase 2, which is, like I say, interviews, hangouts. I've got some great guests waiting in the wings, but I have to get the tech right first because it's just going to be a disaster if I start doing it and my computer blows up and I get a splinter of something in my eye and it kills me. We're talking about eyes. I've been thinking about the Eye of Horus symbol as well, and you know, I got this many years ago before anything about the Illuminati, and that was on YouTube, David Icke. None of that was going. I don't know when I got it, but it was long before that. It's actually the very one that is on Robert Anton Wilson's, I think it's Cosmic Trigger, one of his books anyway. I had this, and I thought he would actually do a slightly better job. It's very chunky, but it is an exact replica of the one on Robert Anton Wilson's book. I should have taken a much. I think I'm going to get it worked on, to be honest. That girl I met yesterday has got some beautiful tattoos, and the girl that she gets hers, I would like some from her. Because tattoos are, like, for me, initiation marks. Because I was pretty much told to get these runes by the mushroom gods when they revealed that I was indeed Saroth the Mage, the ancient sage. First men, I mean, we're all first men, you know. We're first life, whatever came out of that, whatever happened to cause life and consciousness. You know, it's been an evolution over billions and billions and billions of years, and we are the product of some vast force that we can never understand. We try to understand it. I think that's part of the spiritual practice, is trying to figure things out, but sometimes it's not even helpful to speculate on those huge things because they just tie your head in a knot. You know, if you look after the details and the little things, the big things tend to sort themselves out. My God, I'm giving life advice now, am I? So, mushrooms, we do it in a very sacred and not somber, we always laugh. But, you know, we take it seriously. One person goes through the temple, the other sits in the living room where the coal fire is, keep the fire burning. and just make sure, nothing would ever happen, I don't think. But if something did, the other person is there to talk you out of it, calm you down, because I mean, in high doses, sometimes you're flickering in and out of your body. You absolutely are. You lose your concept of time is completely, and it can be very disorientating and disturbing. So for a first-time user, I would never recommend more than 5 dried grams. I'd maybe just, I don't know, there's a lot of debate on it saying don't even bother with the low doses, it'll just keep you in this waiting room. The waiting room is when you're kind of tripping, but not fully, and it's a horrible, tense, grindy kind of, I find it like that anyway, and you don't want to get stuck there for like 4 hours, although I have done it, and it doesn't kill you. I remember one time me and Lato went out on a vision quest, camped in this field, and there was a deer jumping about, just this random field that we found. We just let our intuitions guide us. Meditation, intuition, and imagination, very vital factors. And we pitched our tents, and Lato, as she does, always hogs the biggest and best ones, and I got because I was like, I'm not too sure. And if you're going to do it, just jump in and do it. Because if you're like, oh, well, it'll only take so much, so I'm not quite sure because I'm a bit scared. It's a totally wrong attitude to go into it with, because you're either going to have a bad time or just not take enough and not have any kind of time. I was awake all night, wide awake. You can't sleep. You're hyper aware, but you're just not in that place where visions and crazy stuff. Some of it. It's like a conversation, and I have actually found that talking out loud, or sometimes I think I'm talking out loud, and I listen to audio tapes because we voice record them, because sometimes some just crazy amazing stuff comes through and you never remember it afterwards. You think, oh, I'll never forget that. It was wonderful philosophical genius. You really think you're getting it all figured out, and you come out and you're like, I have no idea what that was about at all. So voice record it, and then I've got this obsession with bringing something back, dragging something from the unmanifest, the Nagwal, the ether, like I repeat myself all the time, really, but Percy Bysshe Shelley, a romantic poet in the 1820s, was he? Around about then, Biden and all those guys, yeah, it was just around after the Napoleonic Wars, I think. I may be very wrong. I did English at university, but my memory is shocking. Why do I need my glasses on? I'm not reading my notes. Good points are off. So I've lost my point now. Are you digging it? Nobody's talking in chat. Is chat even is chat working? Is it blinked out or something? It's unusual for nobody to be chatting. Most of my crowd are quite a talkative bunch. So yeah, you would prepare. If I was talking to you and you'd never done it, after reading all these books on it, like I have, I would say, if you've got unresolved issues, don't do it at a time of crisis in your life, or maybe do it at a crisis. But no, I wouldn't. I would wait till the crisis is past, and then maybe do it to get insight to prevent it happening again. But you need to be at least. And again, I hate to say it, I'm not into labels. If you hallucinate and that without mushrooms, you can imagine what mushrooms are going to do to your mind. So, I have seen people that kind of, it was more acid and speed and stuff, to be honest, and ease, but I have seen people just go and never really, they go a little bit strange, they burn out. So keep it sacred, keep it to, we just go for equinoxes and because it's traditional, and there is a lot of strong energy. It's the planetary, it's the Gaian energies, and the astrological. The planets are always present, especially with the work I'm doing at the moment. Like I say, the Theoricus grade is about Saturn and about the Moon, two very powerful entities, you could say. I was watching my friend Grey Wolf North Shaman 369 again today, and he did a masterful. I haven't watched it all, I have to say, because it's like 55 minutes long. But I just got so into what he was talking about today, and I was like, yeah, correct, correct, correct. He talked a lot about like what I think is one of the fundamentals is personal sovereignty. If you are, it's not even down to practice, it's just certain people are in this path for whatever reasons. And if you are in the path, you have to declare personal sovereignty. You can't let other people mess with your shit, man. And I think he put it very well, as you're not attacking anyone, you're not going out looking for trouble. We are peace, we are love, but we will defend our own patches, our own psychic patches. A magician is, the card is him with his tools, right? He's got his pentacle, his wand, his dagger, and his cup. And these are all elements, but they're also tools. What can you do with a dagger? What can you do with a stick? What can you do with a cup? What can you do with a disc, a coin? It's money. It's all these things. And mushrooms definitely ties you into this mindset. If you approach it from a magical perspective, like do you banish it, we would do a whole long ritual purification and consecration. One of us will go around with water, sprinkle it around the circle. One of us will go around with incense or sage, or sometimes both. Go around that. We say, I guess other people would call them prayers, but we don't see them as really prayers. The gods and spirits don't require worship, or the major ones require respect, and you have to respect Isis and Thoth and our composite Thosis. But I don't know if it's them. Is it even them? But when I'm on shrooms, it feels like they're actually present, these lesser gods, and I'm seeing like such parallels between, all the traditions have these archetypes, and they're pretty much the same archetypes. Hathor to me seems a lot like Freya sometimes, and there's so many parallels between Norse mythology, Egyptian mythology, Celtic mythology, you name it, Indian, every system in the world, apart from maybe some of the Eastern ones who have kind of removed all that concept of God, and they're just purely in the mind, aren't they? So they would almost be seen as, I don't know so much about Buddhism and the Eastern systems, to be honest. I'm much more attracted to the Western way of looking at the world. It's just, I do the I Ching, and I do admire Taoism. It's kind of stoic wisdom, and it's an insistence on you always acting in the right way. That's so important. If you're going to be messing with things that are potentially energetic and powerful, you need to have a clean slate morally. You can't have things nagging away at your mind like, oh damn, I wish I'd stolen that 50 quid, or oh no, I've forged a signature, or it's not unusual for people who get into drugs when they are young to have to commit some kind of dishonesty and crimes to fund their habits. The person who was formerly known as Saroth the Mage, he had to do all kinds of stuff. He never enjoyed it. I've always been an honest person as far as I could be, but you got to deal or steal, man, and that's what I'm coming out of. I mean, I've been out of it for a while, but I've still got to cross the final barrier, which is the meltdown, when everything is withdrawn. When will that be, actually? It's not going to be even that long. Would it be around Samhain, Halloween? I think it probably would. If not then, definitely around Christmas, I'm going to have to face the demon again. And this time I am going to go in so fortified and so strong that I will knock these horrible chemicals out of the fucking park. You won't be able to withstand Soros energy. No. I'm being serious. Opiates and stuff absolutely are kind of astral parasites. They feed on your energy. They turn you into a moron who is confused and doped up all the time, and thinks that he's in control, and he thinks that he's comfortable, and he's doing it because he's, oh, it's painful, and oh, I just like it, or oh, it never started out like this. It used to be just the beautiful people, and now I'm sitting in a crack house with psychopaths, with very angry dogs, and oh, that girl just stole my wallet. You know, that kind of stuff. It degenerates real quick. But we are talking about the beneficial drugs, the lesser sacrament, as I like to call the smokers. Although I am trying to stop tobacco, I really am. I can feel yesterday, when you drink, you tend to smoke more. Came back here, had a few beers, a few smokes, and that contributes to the hangover so badly. I feel toxified today. Beautifully toxified, I may say. It was a wonderful day, I must say, but I mean, must we always get so drunk? I mean, we were getting on like a house on fire, and I had a few cocktails at sort of tea time. 3 cocktails and then lots and lots of beer. So yeah, I'm a little bit hungover today, and I've got work soon till late, so it's going to be hellish. I'm sweating. It's incredibly hot. But I'm not here to moan. I'm here to talk about mushrooms. Benefits of, uses of. I'm not going to give out recipes or anything like that. I just would encourage, if you feel you're stuck, I think they're particularly good for sort of a catalyst for change. Like, again, DJ, if you watch this back, you mentioned the lightning struck tower today. I talk about it all the time. It's a brilliant metaphor for getting your shit just taken away and having to build it all up again in a better, more solid way. I did a wee tarot reading today, just one card. I just wanted one card for how reflect my being right now. And it's that one. I hoped I would get a trump, because it tends to be when you're feeling energetically strong, you get trumps. And when the energy isn't so strong, you get like weak court cards. Or, no, sorry, small cards. Minor arcana. This is my little German deck, so it's tiny. It's really quite cute, actually. And it doesn't, I've got one pack of Thoth tarot cards, and they are fucking evil. They hate me. They give me the worst readings all the time. So I just don't use them anymore. Do packs of cards have personalities, Saroth? No. But sometimes it helps to think of them as they do. So is that chaos magic then, Saroth? No one asks from chat. Kind of. You can definitely, I'm all about picking up things that work for you and discarding things that don't. It's just that the things that are working for me at the moment, I'm not saying anything else wouldn't work, but a particular combination of Bare Bones Golden Dawn, which is still fairly involved. Plus, I'm starting to add in little touches now of Dilemma and my own Osmosis, which Jill and I developed after doing the Isis Magic, a lot of the rituals in that book. And like I say, it's when I first started this channel, it was like, oh yeah, okay, magic is psychological, so it's all about working on yourself. It's like doing the shadow work. It's this. There are no spirits. There are nothing outside a human being. You know, we are the microcosm and the macrocosm. That I think it was useful, and it made it seem less dangerous. The rituals I'm doing just now are in no way dangerous, but some of them I do later on could potentially be, but I don't even think so. You know, this whole thing about demons being evil spirits. There was an excellent, again, I'll refer you to podcast, In Defense of Demons, it's called, and it's just good old fashion sense about, look, really, I mean, creatures from hell, do you think that's what the Goetic magicians have been working for all these years? A demon from hell would rip you limb from limb, wouldn't it, if it was a being of pure evil and all that? And they have skills, abilities, personalities. It's something I'm very much going to explore. A lot of the things that I'm reading about, I think, oh Christ, I've kind of done that, but I just didn't know that that was what it was called. Me and Jill Lado thought we were just freestyling a lot of the time, but it turns out that we were kind of possibly being guided. Who's that? Oh, it's my little darling. Sent my photo. You're not watching, are you, baby? place looks a bit better. Oh, I'm a neighbour. What a nice chap. I'll just have to take this. Yo, baby, I'm streaming. Yeah, I'm streaming, baby. Hey, Samad. Hey, Samad, get on my stream. Oh, really? C.W. is listening to Saroth the Mage? Why can't I see the chat, guys? Oh, no. Why can't I see it? What the fuck? What do I do? What do I do? Ah, I've got a phone call. Restore chat. Yes, baby, yes. I thought it was very quiet. Okay, thank you, David. Is that it? Okay, Chuck, say something, please. Okay, David, thank you. Now, that's what I call a moderator. That guy. Wasn't that nice? Apparently, you have been chatting, but old Saroth can't see you. And I still can't see you. And apparently, the famous C.W.Chanter is listening to Saroth the Mage. I cannot fucking believe it. It says participants, pop out chat. I'll just try that. Of course. Hey, babies! Right, how do I do this? There you go. Well, I just won't watch myself. I'll just... Oh, I'm excited. I thought no one was paying attention to me. Who have we got? Oh, man, it's Darcy. No sound. What? No sound? Pyramid 7, Lisa F, 9 Eland. David, of course. Oh, guys, I'm so... Ooh! I can't see myself now, but that is no loss to society. So, yeah, what do we think about mushrooms then, guys? Is it a yay or a nay? I think they're absolutely pretty much vital. They're the cornerstone of the gnosis thing, really, because they just give you such a direct experience of the numinous of the religious. And people do have what you would call a religious experiences. Even atheists, I think, have been, it's absolutely a spiritual experience. As kids, even, not everyone, but I had a sense that, especially that night that I saw the Duffy Park and the trees were talking to me, and that whole connection with nature, because mushrooms are, they love the earth, but they want more earths. They were almost saying to me, look, it's fine, we can actually migrate into space and earth will be fine, but we need to spread. So I think Terence McKenna had some really strange theories about them maybe being some kind of a planetary intelligence that has just taken the form of mushrooms so they can interact with the human brain and nervous system and get us to kind of do their bidding, as do the gods, and as will all your spirit contacts and stuff. They love you, most of them, and they want to look after you, but they also sometimes want you to do little things for them, and it's not much. Like today, I've decided that this figure here, can you see him? Oh yeah, him. I haven't even got a name for him yet. Well, I'm going to turn him alive. I'm going to make him become so he can dance about by giving him ritual offerings of whatever I'm having. So I had a glass of milk earlier on, so he gets a glass of milk. He'll get some of my tea. He'll get everything I get. Although he can't actually eat or drink, of course. But he'll get the astral form of that, and he will become alive like Pinocchio. And then Jordan Peterson can come in and explain it to everyone. My head is actually pounding. I'll have a wee look in the chat and see what you're saying, guys. I thought it was awful weird that no one was talking. I really did. Love new words, 7 serpents. I'm slurking, sleeping and lurking. 7 serpents is a genius. Hi 9, morning. Is it morning? Oh yeah, it must be quite early in America then, is it? You are little mushrooms, you all sprout up. Your lovely little heads. Oh, I do love you. So yeah, and I've started only doing them at what I call the Magick Cottage. It's Lato's place at our secret location, because it's just so there's a few houses scattered around, but it's really just sea, a shingle beach. You could literally throw a stone out of the kitchen window and it would land in the North Sea. There's rivers. It's just so beautiful, so grounding. And you know, this Aberdeen is a small city, but it's still a city. I mean, my God, you should have seen it yesterday. Microdosing, yeah. Funnily enough, that girl that I was talking to yesterday was asking about that. So it would be very, very small amounts then, wouldn't it? Because I think you get more sensitive visual acuity, probably makes you a tiny bit more intelligent and functional. And they are good for you. There's like a spiritual purgative. So it might be dramatic at the time and you might have to deal with some stuff and you might feel like you're being buffeted around. But if you just keep your balance and know that you're not going to die, nothing horrible is going to happen to you. And if you're getting really horrible thoughts, it is only the stuff, you know what I mean? If you're having great thoughts, it's not just the stuff. It's true. Everything's true. Everything's true. And then you'd use your discernment when you come out. You know, some things are just patently silly that they say, I think. But you know, it's so difficult when you first start. You know, I was reluctant to even confess that we've been in touch with anything. I wanted to put it down to everything was psychological, and it was all just the alchemical process of magic stirring up these things. And that's definitely one way of interpreting it. But I am more open to the spirit model now because there's just so much weird shit going on that I can't actually tell you about because it's too live. You know, so like maybe in a couple of months I'll be able to tell you all that about the stuff that's happening now. And then, you know, so I'll never run out of stories. Oh my God. I never stop talking. My head never stops talking to me, and I never stop talking to you. I even talk to you when you're not there. I do. It's like my internal dialogue is no longer, oh, you better go over to the shop and get some milk, or, oh, you better get the bus to work. It's like, okay, so if Hathor is Freya, then it's, I've gone all esoteric, and I'm like, crazy. Nothing to see here. We popped out. I can see he's over there, but let's just try and restore the chat. Very strange. Nothing. Hope it's in a computer. Toggle timestamps. Why the hell we got to toggle timestamps? Participants. Nothing. So I noticed the picture yesterday. I didn't expect anybody to watch that stream back, but it was very glitchy, and it was going to, you know, how the picture pixelates and that. Is that either happening now, or it'll be interesting to see if it does on playback? Because if it's still, I want really high quality. How's the? Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do that thing again. The pop-out chat. You know what? I spent 80 quid on that microphone, and I've noticed that the one that I use on the Logitech camera, which I've had to plug in because this thing doesn't even have a bloody camera, sounds pretty much just as good. So did I really have to spend 80 quid on the microphone? Probably not, but I wanted one, and I'm allowed one. Okay, Steve, act like a grown up for once. So the game's right up. I will refine and refine. So we're always going to have streams where the subject is just me rambling on about stuff. Is it? Shit. I think it's especially when I move a lot. So if I watch it back and it's all unwatchable and pixelated, I will be very frustrated. Mic is louder and better, yeah? It's better than yesterday? Okay. It might just be, you know, it's a reconditioned laptop. It might just be needing a little bit of time to feel my magic energies and realize that it's nothing to be scared of. It's all in its mind. If not, I'll just have to. What I should have really done was the money I spent on this one, I should have put away and just waited 1 more month, or maybe 2 more months. I got a really good one, but I just. So let's see who's in chat. Oh, Mrs. Seven Serpents is in there, is she? Oh, that's so cute. So that is Mrs. Seven Serpents. Seven Serpents' wife? If so, that is totally cute. Oh, thank you, Darcy. It does rock like. It's not the Pro. I thought it was the Yeti Blue Pro, but it didn't need software. It just worked straight away when I plugged it in. So I think it's just the Yeti Blue. I got it from a shop called CX. I don't know if you've got C.W.Chanter or something. I don't know if you've got them in America, but it sells like loads of computer stuff, a lot of secondhand stuff. So when I got it, it seemed new, but I didn't really get like any packaging or manuals or anything. I know you can download the manual, but they are supposed to be very high quality microphones. So things are definitely getting there. Did I have a regret? What did I regret? Oh yeah, but I will regret if the thing's unwatchable, because that defies the whole point of buying new equipment, innit? And I can always go back and use my phone. I mean, smartphones, aren't they fucking incredible? Who thought of them? Was it me? Was it Steve Jobs? Very clever. I mean, that is magic. That is absolute magic, that you can astrally project a little picture of yourself into someone else's mind. It's telepathy, isn't it? Isn't what we're doing telepathy? In the yogas and Vedas, the gods and such are all also inside and parts of us, yes? But I also think that there are forces outside of us as well, perhaps. I just can't make up my mind. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah, that's the way I talk. I talk hip talk, baby. Jive talk. So I'm not talking about mushrooms anymore, am I? I'm just blethering now. So, yeah, the sacrament, the greater sacrament. I never thought I'd hear Lato, because she really enjoys her mind-expanding stuff. But, I mean, we're getting older, we're slowing down, you know. And it used to always be her saying, more, do it more. And I was like, no. And now she's saying, oh, I think, you know, the last time was, because we ended up taking 2 doses of like 6 dried grams each dose. So we had the 6 dried, they came on, went, and then the other 6 just, it was crazy intense. And I do think whatever this kundalini, this energy, this mystical secret energy that you seem to be able to activate, those mushrooms seem to activate something in me. Absolutely, everything can be related to the tree of life. Oh, it's behind. I got a huge canvas from my upstairs neighbour. What a lovely chap. And this sort of thing's happening all the time now. People are just being weirdly nice to me. And it just so happens to all be happening while I decide to suddenly transform my life using certain techniques that have been passed down through mystery traditions and folk traditions, and kids telling each other in school about these little weird things that you grow and you eat, and you don't grow them, you pick them. Although some people might be growing them right now, who knows? And they open the door. When the doors of perception are cleansed, man will see things as they truly are, infinite. And I think that was William Blake, who might have had access to mushrooms. Some people say he was, he was not a crazy guy, he was a genius, but he was, I think you could call him an individualist. He certainly ploughed his own furrow, Mr. William Blake. I mean, his engravings and etchings are fantastic. His whole mythical thing that he built up, what are they called again? I must admit, I don't find that his written work as interesting when he goes into his cosmology. Because like I say, cosmologies are useful to a certain extent, but if you cling dogmatically to one, yeah, you could, even you, sir, at your advanced state of initiation, everybody could be doing with a good old psilocybin clear out. You'll feel so unburdened, even if you've had the horrors. When everything fades away, you get a sense of achievement for having faced, perhaps you're a little bit nervous. It's like a psychic bungee jump. Sometimes terrifying, but always rewarding. A Kabbalist don't cling to only one. Cling to one. Kabbalah is a very, very vast and complicated system, or it can be a very small and simple system. It's really up to you. But the lore around the Kabbalah is vast beyond. You could never read it all in a single lifetime. You possibly could if you're talking about just the sort of post-Golden Dawn Western stuff. You know, I find it, I don't really enjoy. I tried to read Garden of Pomegranates by Israel Regardie, I think The Tree of Life as well. And it's just too dry for me. When I started this channel, the whole idea was not even to, I was perhaps naively going to stay away from all books, but the one textbook, and not take any other magic thought into consideration, and just see the result of sacrament and practice magic, Western magic. But I found myself just being so fascinated, and on the beautiful world of YouTube, there are just so many interesting conversations going on right now about these very things. Reb Zalman, I've never heard of him, but I will check him out, because the Blazing Star OTO do quite good presentations on Kabbalah. They did one about the elements in the Kabbalah, and another one, I can't remember quite, but that's another good podcast. Oh yes, of course, David, he's your, yeah. I think gurus are very healthy. I would quite like a guru that would teach me things. I'd probably be a very rebellious student. I'd probably end up slapping him and saying, no, I'm the teacher. You go away. I'm better than you. And I've added a new ring to my procession of vanity. I feel entitled to wear this now. It's got a suicide pill in it, so if I'm ever captured by the reptilians, I just pop this open. I'm gone, baby. I'm gone. Because I ain't hanging around to be experimented on. Reptilians. Are reptilians secretly demons? I think reptilians are just... See, I was listening to somebody today, and he said he had a pretty much bona fide experience with, I think, like I say, I had it on the background. I didn't catch everybody's point all the time, but, and he pulled the gun on them and they went away. Maybe I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, we definitely, there are things like incubi and succubi that actually, you know, the girl I was talking to yesterday, who will remain nameless for now, but I might announce her to the world. I mean, it's early days. That we did seem to get on very well, and she's very into esoteric stuff. So much that it kind of was a bit weird, because I thought, oh, it's unusual. I've never met a girl that's been interested in magic to this degree before. And she's got red hair, the 1%. Yeah, not the rich bastard 1%, the 1% of people in the world who have red hair. And I love red hair. I love Scottish-looking women with the freckles. And I love Scotland, but I love America as well. I'm really loving America. And where is it you are again, Darcy? You're Glasgow, aren't you? And Edinburgh. I love Edinburgh as well. Glasgow is the more culturally exciting city. The bands that have come out of Glasgow and all the stuff. But Edinburgh, for some reason, is more like a mystical centre for me, even though it's full of rich fucking European tourists all the time. Kabbalah and Taoism fit together so well. Yeah, Seven Serpents, I've been watching your work, and I love the way that you tie the Kabbalah to Taoism. You know, that's exactly what it's all about. It's syncretism, you know, pulling bits out of other systems, because they all absolutely agree with each other to a point. I guess they do branch off. All systems of attainment. What is attainment? It's freeing yourself. It's giving yourself permission to be a fully engaged human being. Don't hide bits of yourself away. Don't. Yeah, Lisa F. Look for Seven Serpents. Look for anybody in my chat that has a YouTube channel. And I would also say, I don't want to like bum him up too much, but I loved what he was talking about today. It's a bit of a complicated name. It's Grey Wolf, one word. I think it's / Norse Shaman 369. And he's a lovely guy. I like him. And he was in chat the other night. So he's more than welcome back. But he's you wouldn't mess with this guy. You wouldn't mess with Saroth, let's face it, come on. Tory, you know how we roll in Tory? Very good. He's just started. I can't believe he's got so few subscribers. So he's an independent mage. I'm an independent mage, but sometimes it's nice just to point somebody in your direction, because no matter how much we pretend we don't want loads, I don't want millions of subscribers. I'll never get millions of subscribers, but 200, 300, I would love that many. So tell all your friends they can go my way, sell your soul. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, don't start rapping, Steve. Keep it with the mushrooms. So you will experience when I first went in, especially the first McKenna Saroth the Mage trip that I always harp on about, but that was the birth of me. Before that, I was someone else. I was very close to me, but not this me. That totally changed everything. And for the first 2 hours, I was struggling and cursing and wishing I'd never taken the damn things, because it was bringing up all kinds of turbulence, and it was just, I was like, whoa, I felt like I was drowning. There was these weird little hallucinations, but they were obviously, I think they are kind of some kind of energies. They had like bird skeleton heads and stringy little horrible bodies, and they kind of swim through the astral, whatever it is. It's like being underwater at that point. And they're swimming along, hey man, I'll cut you a deal, I'll cut you a deal. You need to get to the next level. You need to get to the, I can get you out of here. And you just have to say, no, get away from me, you unclean spirits. What, trolled in the astral realms, the mushroom place? Trolls can't get you there. Do they? Do they like every day? Yes, well, I will try and do even 5 minutes a day then if YouTube likes it, because I do want to, I don't see myself as a great authority or wise man or anything like that, but I think I would be okay at facilitating conversations between this people and these people and these people and these people. I mean, I'd love to get skeptics in as well, and we could not argue, but we want debate, don't we? We want interesting shows full of lively, you can't go much better than CW at his best. And I don't want to rival him. I wish he would bloody come back and make more videos, I've tweeted you every other day. Now get to work, boss. And you're my boss. I hold my ranch with pride. So. Oh, you might even be watching. I don't think you'll still be watching, but if you are, I love you so much. Oh, how long have I been going? I'm getting tired. My head is still aching. Oh, it doesn't tell me because it's blocked. How long have I been going, chat? See, it doesn't even tell me down side here. Oh, tech problems. What do you do? So yeah, the first part of the trip, very, very unenjoyable. Your nose is freezing, your fingers are freezing, your feet are freezing, so you take loads of blankets. We put candles, but we to put them way up, because sometimes you end up like rolling about on the floor and everything. It can get really quite physical. And I found that if you are experiencing turbulence, it's kind of good to get your body moving and to I was doing all kinds of stuff, clapping my hands, chanting, doing mudras and asanas. I was trying to find a vocal frequency that would get me out of that dark place. And when I did get out of the dark place, oh my God, I went to such a light place. Some people say inorganic light, and inorganic light, I think lux is lux. Do you agree, Frater? Do you think there are any light that is artificial light? Like I think there's another mind trap conspiracy theory that when you die, you get lured away by the fake Jesus. I don't believe that, but I do believe that dying is a skill that we really should learn. And I think that fear of death, Thanatos, is a major problem for every human being. But I think middle-aged men, I certainly had a sort of, oh my God, I'm going to die soon during that dark night of the soul. And it's not the first dark night of the soul, and it won't be the last. But meet your problems before they come to you. Identify, aim, and I'll have an argument with your problem, sort it out, talk to it, agree with it. Yeah, exactly. And this is why I want to write a Western book of the dead. Nothing ambitious, like, but a guide for dying, where to go, where not to go. Because I think that the very, very intense high dose mushroom experiences are the closest you can get to your soul leaving your body and having a out of body experience. And you do, you're like at the control panel of the world. You feel like you could just move things into place. And I actually was doing a lot of this because I was seeing these silver strands. Like I say, there's a difference between hallucinations and stuff that is just absolutely there when you close your eyes and when you open your eyes. Somebody else mentioned that they've seen these as well. They're like steel, glittering steel, or thin, powerful thread, like a spider's web almost. A spider's web, that's a great analogy. And all these webs go out and connect to people, forces. Oh, the truffles were very interesting as well, because there was the first time I've ever had a trip that had a real sexual component to it. It was fascinating. The what are they called again? Truffles. I didn't even know what truffles were. I'd never heard of them, but it was that that put me onto them. They're just, I think, I'm not sure of the. I could research this, but I don't want to. They seem female to me. The mushrooms are very solar phallic. Like the microphone. I mean, what is that? Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, eh? But the truffles, they're the female version. And oh my God, we took another high dose of them, and that was just the smoothest, most gorgeous. And there was a female presence. It was absolutely like, I thought it was the goddess Hathor herself, some kind of earth goddess, and she wanted me to. But that's a secret. Okay, I'm going to wrap up soon because I've got a bloody sore head and I'm going to have to get ready for work. So, babies, so thank you for that tip, David. You're my top moderator, mate. You're always here, and I totally appreciate that. And thank you, everybody, so much. Oh, Fractal Truth. I see all these names. I never know if you're male or female. So, it doesn't matter. I love you anyway. So, Darcy, thank you very much. Fractal Truth, thank you so much. David Lux, of course, my dear frater, David. Lisa F, thank you. You've got your wrench as well. I'll have to scroll up here. Yeah, that's yes. Fractal, David, Darcy, and Lisa, but that is beautiful. I love you, I love you, I love you. As usual, I could probably just go on and on and on and on and on, but let's start. If this plays okay, I'm ready for hangouts. I'm going to get the people on the show that I keep telling, and thank you very much. I love chat. I love you all, guys. Peace and love, unity. Let's agree on what we agree on. Let's not pick each other at pieces. Love, love, love. And with that, I now endeth the stream. Blessings and deep, deep doses, gnosis, love. Goodbye, kind people.